That's why the boys are using the word crucial. It is indeed for both these teams. And the kick-off has gone down to King. And here's a pass play by Farrah's gone on to Robertson. And Robertson is in for Manly. Steve Maddai has scored. Puts a kick in, cross hands, Kenny Dowell. Kenny Dowell, he's in a foot race with Robertson. But Kenny Dowell, he's finished the first half the way he has started the second. Carney steps and puts it over the line. And Kenny Dowell, Sam Parrott's flying down the right side. It's almost 100 metres. Parrott will score. And Nesta sweeps it away to that man again. That man Carney. On to Kenny Dowell. Oh, stop it. Stop it. It's starting to hurt.
And out of nowhere, the Roosters have done it again.
That was round 25 last season. Manly led 14 points to 0. The Roosters won 30 points to 14. And it also confirmed their top 8 finish in 2010. This afternoon, we welcome you to the Sydney Football Stadium for 9 Sunday afternoon rugby league. The good news is that despite the inclement weather in Sydney over the last 24 hours, it has eased off and the playing surface in remarkably good condition. Brad Fittler, looking back to that last meeting between these two clubs, the standouts were Sean Kenny-Dowell with a hat-trick and Todd Carney, who makes his reappearance in Game 2 this year.
Yeah, they got out of jail that day. And Todd Carney, he went on to be the best player in our comp, so he can go back to 5'8", it's going to move Braith and Nasta back to lock. The one thing we're going to see Braith do, he's going to be sniffing down blind sides. You watch the Manly centres, they'll come jamming up and in, and if they do, they'll have to contend with Braith and Nasta shooting down those blinds.
Well, after a real scare against South Sydney last week, they prevailed 40 points to 29. At fullback this afternoon, Anthony Minicello. On the wings, Sam Parrott and Joseph Leilua. Kane Linnett and Sean Kenny-Dowell are the centre pairing. Todd Carney at 5'8", he wears jersey 18 outside of Mitchell Pearce. Going to the back of the scrum as the skipper, Braith and Asta, Mitch Orbison and Nate Miles. With Jason Riles, Mark Riddell will start the game and Martin Kennedy. That pushes Jake Friend and Frank Paul Nuasala back to the interchange. Jared Wairia-Hargreaves and Mossy Masoi, they are coached by Brian Smith. Troubling times for Manly, they've lost players through injury and suspension. The little C this afternoon goes to that man, Brett Stewart, and if you're looking for try-scoring potential, you're again looking to the number one.
Yeah, I think so. Tony Williams there looks he looks exciting to me. The halfback, Dale Cherry Evans, played in a very physical game last week against Melbourne. You'll know what to expect today.
Well, unfortunately, they lost Glenn Stewart during the week. That puts even more pressure on their young halves.
Right, here's the lineup. Brett Stewart with the little C next to his name, with Mogul Robinson and David Williams on the wing. In the centres, Will Hopewadi and Tony Williams. In the halves, Kieran Foran and Daly Cherry Evans. The back row, Anthony Watmo, Jamie Bura and Joe Nullivow. In the front row, George Rose, Matt Ballin and Brent Kite. And the bench goes Terence Susu, Tim Robinson, Vic Morrow and Daniel Harrison. And they're coached by Des Hasler.
Well, one thing is for sure here, it is certainly a backs-to-the-wall struggle for the Eagles. 3 stars, including both captains, plus the deputy captain, all out of the team, as Peter said. The team beaten by Melbourne last weekend. And add to that, 2 other regular first graders are not there anyway, and 2 of their squad are on debut. Brett Stewart, of course, captains for the first time at Manly, although it doesn't seem to be a good occupation having the C next to your name. He's 2 tries away from 100 for the club. And there's a nice contrast there with Minicello, who I'll get to in just a moment. But the Eagles, of course, there's young Bura. And he is one of several players that hasn't played 10 games. Roosters coming out. They're running through a guard of honour, by the way, formed by the cheer girls and some young people that'll be at the Special Olympics in June of this year. And the Special Olympics, of course, one of the charities for the Roosters' major sponsor, Steggles. Sun shining through. We had a very wet night and a fairly wet morning. But in an era where salary cap plays a major part, the Roosters boast an incredible 15 members of last year's grand final side in the lineup today, including SKD. 3 tries he scored against the Eagles when they came from 14-0 down to win, running away 30-14. And today he's up against a very inexperienced pair of centres. Well, there's Minicello. He's 2 away from Bill Mullins' 104 tries record. It's taken Mini, though, 208 games, whereas Stewart, who has scored 4 less, 119 games. So the sun shines out appropriately onto a very small crowd, which is understandable. And Manly will run from right to left in Sunday football. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoy it. The kickoff is off the boot of Daly Cherry Evans. And so the Roosters bring it back. And the 10 is hit hard. That is Kennedy. He ran straight into a shoulder charge, which has been quite a topic this year. In fact, Kennedy's got up, just nursing his forehead as the Roosters work it away from their own 10-metre line. So the second tackle that is required to reach the 20, which indicates the Manly chase on the kickoff was enthusiastic. This is Riles. Will play the ball inside the 30-metre line. Riddell starting dummy half. And that's Kennedy again. He's okay. So they go to the centre of the ground and they go with long passing, and it goes over the back of Braithen Aston. Now he's knocked on. The ball has been deflected towards the opposition dead ball line. There'll be people want to bag Ben Cummins, but that is the ruling.
Yeah, sloppy stop there from the Roosters, looking to go wide, and despite the fact that Nasta had the ball go behind him, it did propel towards the opposing try line. I thought they'd keep it nice and tight, especially with Riddell starting the game, but an early opportunity for the Eagles.
Joe Malavau. So Manly with an early opportunity, 1.5 minutes into the game, and Foran goes short and picks up George Rose. And George plays the ball. This is Matty Ballin away through a second man for Cherry Evans to find Kite, going back to where the ball was played. So they ran the perfect cross. Now it's with Foran, working blindside. Tony Williams. Great snap on it. I thought he'd be unstoppable. Who did stop him? It was Sean Kenny-Dow. Thank you, Peter. Foran goes through. Rose out wide. And they're 7 metres out from the line up at the northern end of the stadium. So Ballin goes to his playmaker, Foran, who goes on to Brett Stewart. Here's Williams. They won't get him this time. Dropping off him was Perrott, the big number 4, playing, I think, only his 7th game in the centres. Tony Williams has scored for Manly with the clock barely at the 3rd minute.
And it's the ideal start for Manly, a real confidence builder. This was the turnover early. You could see that the ball went forward off the hand of Braithen Astor. They went close to scoring the previous play. And then a long pass there would have just about seen the winger score, Michael Robertson. But Williams able to brush through the tackle of Sam Perrott to get the opening points. And Brett Stewart getting involved from the fullback position. And Perrott slipping off the big number 4. He went close the first time. They couldn't stop him the second.
Teams should run the ball on tackle more often. I like that play. He shaped the kick, or he gave the impression he would kick. That holds the winger back. And then they move the ball to the edges, and when you've got big fellas like Tony Williams at close range, they're very, very hard to stop. Running the ball on last play, I like it, Rabbits. It's a great tactic.
Well, Jack Gibson used to swear by the first and the last. He and Ron Massey took out stats to say to Parramatta, they're your best man. Here's Cherry Evans, and he's got it. Good kid. We've heard a lot about him today. We at Channel 9 see him for the first time. Brad Fittler sideline.
Yeah, what a great start, Rabbits. The one thing we've learned this year, it's not who does it, it's not what you do, but it's how you do it. Any side that's gone in with good energy this year has been able to sort of get some points. Big Tony Williams, we mentioned him off the top. And just to mention David Williams in the warm-up, he had back spasms, and it wasn't until a minute before the game that he declared himself fit to play.
It's quite a take back there by Brett Stewart. He really lost sight of it, I think, in this wind that is probably gusting around a bit down there. I'll get our resident meteorologist come wind measurer, Brad Fittler, to tell me about the wind, if in fact it's being a factor, but Stewart lost that, and then he did magnificently to take it in. This is Kite. So Brent, who was taken there just outside the 30-metre line, and the ball bouncing up for Minicello. Two of the great fullbacks of the modern era at both ends of the park today. And quite by unfortunate irony. They've both missed many years of football. That's an awful, awful pass.
Wow.
From dummy half. From, I think it's Leilua, is it not?
It's not Leilua or Anasta.
It's Leilua.
It's Joseph Leilua, the youngest player in the team.
It was a shocker. Look at this.
Well, it's forward, it's low, it's a mongrel of a thing. It's ill-bred. It's an awful pass.
Didn't have much going for it, did it?
It's an absolute shocker.
It was ugly. But he knew it. Little Joe. He knew it.
Well, it puts them under pressure straight away again, doesn't it? Manly can get off to a huge start here.
Pull him in tight. Go in tight. Here. Easy, guys. Come here. Just come here.
This is De La Ceres.
Coaching lesson.
Let's get it right first time. I'm going to be talking quite a bit. If your second rowers and your locks don't help me, you guys are going to be against each other all the time, okay? Just get your heads in.
George has got his eye on the clock. He said, sir, we've only been going 5 minutes. Nothing to do much, well. Then again, I think he appreciated the break.
Well, he probably knows he's only out there for 15. He said, you're wasting me time.
There's Stewart coming in on the left-hand fold and running off Foran, who just gave that ball to Watmo, who had a checkered game against Manly last weekend. And now from Ballon, Cherry Evans showed it, pretended to show it, and then gave it to Joe Nolavar. And a three-man tackle from Kennedy and Riles involved, and then Foran out to Watmo, and Watmo, he came to Kenny Dowell, and it was left to the 18 for the Roosters, Todd Carney, to make the tackle. But they're looking dangerous. They're 10 out. They've gone back for a bit of depth, and they've gone back now to Bura. Blocking the scrum for Glenn Stewart's absence. Penalty, Manly.
See what happens with their mindset here.
What are you going to do first?
I would think quick tap, keep going. They've got the Roosters on the run. To me, a kick a goal would be an anticlimax. Oh, anticlimax.
Yeah, it was a temptation because it takes it outside the converted try, but I agree. They could have really made a statement here if they could have got across the line and dashed to 10 or 12. And gee, they'd be flying high and well on the way. But this is a punctuation, especially if he misses.
Well, even if he gets it, the Roosters get up the other end of the field very cheaply, don't they? And it only costs them 2 points. I guess if they win 2 points, well, win by 2 points, you say, well, the kick was worth it. But for me, I was anticipating another Manly try there.
Strong argument to take the 2 when it's on offer, offered by people on the other side of this debate. It's Cherry Evans from inside the 20, a long and flat kick, but he gets the 2. So they made a visit. They went home with something in their bag. It's 8-0 as we break for the first time. Sunday football on the home of the Olympics. For 2012, the kick by Anasta goes way back to Bura. I think Brett Stewart thought, well, I've got to take this, but then it bounced off its point. And that's what the Rugby League board can do. So this is George Rose. He play it inside his own 30-metre line. Playing it back to Ballon. This has got to be a penalty. He's in the way. Kennedy got himself in the road. Well, this is really without discipline. Some of this Roosters exhibition, it was like that patch in the second half last Friday week where they gave 6 penalties back-to-back.
Well, it's an ongoing problem, Ray. Now we've got the statistic in front of us here that in the last 29 games they've finished on the right side of the penalty count 6 occasions. You liken that to other top clubs, and it's far inferior. Got them into trouble last week, and they're already 2-0 down in that department this afternoon.
40-metre line, Roosters end of the ground, and from Bura, it's gone from out to Kite. That's a knock-on, and it's advantage going to the Roosters. Brent Kite, one of those no-look passes again.
Well, the referee called Anthony Watmo offside on 3 occasions.
Anthony, I'm screaming out, mate. You've got to wait, okay? Just on that mark, thanks, mate. Not in front.
So that's where they are on the park as we get ready for the penalty. And the line finder has subsequently happened. Here's the Roosters now with a chance to get something right. And Kennedy will play the ball on the Manly 20-metre line. About 15 in from touch here on the western side of the ground. The ball is with Nate Miles. He's lost it. Well, it just keeps happening, doesn't it? Mistake upon ill discipline.
Well, after 10.5 minutes, we've got a completion rate. The Roosters have 1 from 4 up against the Eagles 4 from 5. 80% to 25%.
William Hopewadi playing the ball. He's playing in the centres for the first time today. So they've got a combined total. There's a penalty going against the play the ball. Roosters a chance now. If they can improve. He stepped sideways.
Martin,
I like to call
wait
it a side step away from the point where he was tackled. And they said that they'd be tough on it, and that's what he was doing there. Exhibiting what the referees have told the players and the clubs since way back in November. So the Roosters now. Ryle taking it up to meet Kite and Rose. 15 away, they're in the middle of the ground. They're running towards the south. And this is Kennedy put down on the 10-metre line. That's how far they've got to go to whittle away the 8-0. Oh, what a ball! Orbison scores! What a pass! Was it Pearce?
It was Pearce.
Oh, Mitch Orbison ran right into a big fat hole and scored.
Well, there wasn't a big fat hole there, Ray, unless the pass was directed to find it. And that's exactly what Mitchell Pearce did. He goes across the face, and then it's just beautiful line running, but the pass made it and just put it straight onto the chest of the man running in between Foran and Williams.
The key here is the change in angle by Orbison, who runs on a similar line to Nate Miles and then will veer away from Nate Miles. Now, the defence is a little confused by that, plus they're watching Carney out the back, thinking this will be a second man play and the ball will go deep. But Orbison starts shoulder to shoulder with Nate Miles, and then as he approaches the line, he just veers to his right. Pearce picks it up and puts him neatly into the hole. And Manly only have themselves to blame there because the Roosters have given them cheap turnovers, but Manly have responded in kind by a couple of cheap penalties themselves.
That change in direction from the man scoring makes the pass even better to make the late change himself as Anasta kicks it sweet.
So it's 8 points to 6. And again to the sideline to Brad Fittler.
Thanks, Rabs. Sometimes the best indication of a pass is the defence's reaction. As soon as Mitchell Orbison slid over there for the try, you had 4 of these Manly blokes just looking at each other going, what happened there? Whose ball was that? I didn't see him coming.
It was interesting that Braith Anasta took the kick for goal too. I mean, Todd Carney is their goal kicker and he is on the field, so may suggest that groin is not yet ready to be taking on the kicking duties.
This is Kennedy. Here's Sean Kenny down. 14-0 they led coming up to half-time in that round, second last round of last year, and Kenny Dow scored just before half-time. And then just after half-time he ran 85 metres to score, then he put another one on, scored 3 of the 5. This is Nate Miles. He's lost the ball. Penalty. 2 in the tackle. This is a rake.
Nah, hand in there, mate.
Hand in there. You heard it from Ben Cummings.
Well, he just lost one a moment ago on the first tackle, Nate Miles, and this would have been a disaster if this was allowed to go. I don't think he really had a great control over that. It's a pretty harsh penalty, really. Look at this kick from Pearce. Wow, look at this kick from Pearce. He has turned it from his own side of the field and found touch only 12 metres out from the Manly line. That's a beauty.
Taken by Riddell. And now from the Masters. Going away for Jason Ryle. He's 5 metres out. That's the line. There's the chalk. Riddell goes back to where they came from. And Nasta shovels it out. It's okay. It went behind the flat line. and played over there by Linnett. Now for Pearce, now for Carney. Then Nate Miles, you've got to expect to get the ball at all times. He had his hands down. If it was a shootout at the OK Corral, he would have been dead before the thing started. Well, he dropped both his pistols on the ground.
He was on Boot Hill very early, wasn't he?
What?
I'll tell you what, had Todd Carney dummied to Nate Miles and continued on his way, the Roosters would have created a big overlap there, and that is something that he'll have to talk about. His outside men will be able to say to Todd, you know, had you double dummied there and kept coming our way, we'd have outnumbered these fellows.
Get in tight there.
And Nate Miles, he's dropped everything so far.
So Manly, Michael Robertson, who's playing, I think, 137 consecutive games today. This is good work by Bura. He's one of these kids from the Hills District. I've got a funny feeling it's a bit of a Noel Cleal influence. The ball goes over to Brent Kite. There's 4 Parramatta juniors in this side, and 3 of them, 2 from Hills District, that's the Bulls, and another from Winston Hills Hawks. Here's Minicello, and the carry back. Oh, it's an awful pass, and it's with Sean Kenny Dow, and then big Tony Williams picks him up. He's the other Parramatta junior I was referring to in Cabramatta. Sam Perrott with it, 8-6 the Eagles, at the 16th minute of the game. Pearce through to Carney. Carney has given the ball to Leilua. So Joseph, the youngest player in the team.
Yeah, he'd swap positions with Linnett as a putter.
Oh, good ball, Pearce again. Here's a long run for Kane Linnett. He dummies, he steps, and Brett Stewart let him do all the fancy stuff and then shut him down, but it's not over yet. Carney got it away, and Asta gives it on. Minicello long. It's out to Mitch Orbison. He gives it away. Sean Kenny Dow will score. Sean Kenny Dow, that's his 7th try against Manly, I think in the last 3 games played.
What outstanding football that is. What an outstanding passage of rugby league.
We got up this morning, we weren't expecting this with the rain falling, but Mitchell Pearce, the cutout pass to Linnett, who in the previous play was in acres of space out there, but Leilua took the tackle. He shaped a kick, Brett Stewart wasn't fooled, and then from one side of the field to the other, the Roosters were able to swing it. Lovely passing there. He straightened it to make the 3-on-2 count, and the big step, Sean Kenny Dow. The number 4 scored at the other end early in the game. Well, Kenny Dow will get some satisfaction out of getting one back himself.
And I'll tell you the best play in all of that sequence, all the running and all the passing and everything, the best play in all of that was Kane Linnett taking the tackle and not doing anything rash. When he got into the backfield and he had Stewart to beat, he thought about a chip kick, he thought about a sidestep, he thought about an inside pass. Look, he comes down, he thinks about it, he's watching, he thinks about a kick, and then he says, "No, look, I'll just take the tackle. I won't do anything outlandish, I'll take the tackle." And from the ensuing play, a couple of long balls later, and they find out Sean Kenny Dow, and he scores the try. And that's a great lesson for all kids, or even all first graders. Don't let the rush of blood force you into an error when a quick play of the ball is just as effective. Hold on to the ball, you'll get him on the next play.
Nasta has just missed it. So we'll take a break. Well, we've got an exciting game here. It's 10-8, the Roosters over the Eagles after 19 minutes.
Hold here.
As we welcome you back to Sunday football on the wide world of sports here on 9. Here's Mark Kennedy. How did it go this morning, by the way? I didn't have a chance to watch it. I was mowing the lawns.
The wide world of sports?
Yeah.
Kenny Sutcliffe is a legend.
Yeah, he was brilliant, wasn't he?
He's absolutely brilliant. I'll tell you what, I'm a little worried here if I'm a Manly fan, because the Roosters haven't controlled the ball at all. Their ball control and discipline's been awful, yet the 2 times they've strung some passes together, they've come up with 2 tries. Manly have got to get better in defence than that.
Jason Riles playing the ball. Riddell goes very short to Minicello, and that was really a Billy Slater play from Minicello. Now it's out for Riddell again. He puts a big kick down the ground, straight down the barrel, and it's going to go dead. Brett Stewart watched it like an eagle hawk before it did eventually give him one more roll.
And there's some talent on the bench there for Manly. Jason King, Jamie Lyon, Glenn Stewart in behind. Injury and suspension, keeping them out of this match. And
I bet he's cool, mate.
I love watching vision from players, and we've seen it again over this weekend. Cooper Cronk from Melbourne yesterday was fantastic, especially down the short side. That ball from Mitchell Pearce, recognising that they had 3 on 2. He went to the line, he delivered the cutout pass, and then it was away. It was really good awareness. As Michael Robertson got 40 out from his own line.
Just on a different viewpoint of you love watching. I love watching games here at the footy stadium. We are so elevated. We are at the highest point of the footy stadium. And you can see the gaps opening. You get a beautiful view of it. There's nothing more important to viewing something, particularly as a commentator, than elevation.
I could tell you're excited. You look excited. I could feel the energy.
No, there's blood pressure. Now here's Perrott. Here's Perrott out to the 30. Now the 19 is out there from Manly, Daniel Harrison. He used to play juniors up on the Central Coast against Timmy Moulton. Timmy was with the Terrigal Sharks, and Daniel, who's out there on debut, was with the Entrance Tigers. That's him, redhead. He'll be good if he's got the red head. He'll be good.
He was also at Canterbury. He was part of their Toyota Cup team 2 years ago. He was in the Toyota Cup team of the year and the New South Wales Cup side that won it last year. So he's had a good rounding coming into this game. Last tackle now against the Roosters, just inside the 40. Riddell goes the short side to Anasto, kicks for touch.
Slow it down here. Just fine touch, set things up, set up their defensive line. Yeah, I wasn't making that comment flippantly. Elevation is a beautiful thing when you're watching a sports event like this. And there's no stadium I love coming to from that point of view than here. Now the 2.5 men special event. Monday night, devastating, shocking, with an ending you just can't afford to miss. A new special 2.5 men double episode. Monday, 7:30 on 9. Does that mean he's going somewhere, Charlie?
It's not real life Charlie Sheen, is it?
Could mean anything, couldn't it?
Could be anything with Charlie.
No, I'm serious. Is this the end of Charlie?
How do we know?
What's going on there?
I know there's a concern out there for Manly as we take an eternity to get this scrum going
It's pretty
again.
hot.
Tony Williams is just getting some more attention out on this left wing. Michael Robertson has pushed into the centre position, but the big fella's been limping for a couple of minutes now. As Harrison, takes the ball from the scrum win.
It's a funny thing. I was looking at these two kids on the bench, Robinson and Harrison. I thought I'll get them mixed up for sure.
I just took the pressure off him, mate.
That's
You can relax now.
It's part of the job, Pete. Here's Bureau. Yeah, there's a real connection, isn't there, between the junior area out in the hills and Manly, and I'm pretty sure it's Noel Clear because that's where he was based. Him and his family used to look after about 16 of them when Clear was at Parramatta. You'd see him go away with a shopping trolley full of food every day. Here is Watmoe standing an offload onto Ballon. Ballon away to Bureau. And Bureau's near the halfway line. Here's Hopewadi. The ref, no downtown. Cherry Evans puts a kick down. Whoa, 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 whoa. Perrott, no knock on. Yes, it is.
Pulled up now. And we've actually seen a couple of penalties this weekend for the downtown, with the player chasing, getting,
I've got a teammate here that's in line with it, okay?
going past the play the ball before the kick has gone over the play the ball.
And he made it clear, Cummins, that it was a touch judge call. He said he was in line with it, mate. I wasn't in line, that's why I didn't blow it.
We've got Jake Friend out there now for the Roosters, and I think Waria Hargreaves might have gone out as well.
Wait for the out call, guys.
Okay, let's get this one, okay?
Waria Hargreaves, he debuted for Manly at 09. And joined up with the Roosters last year.
Okay, head down. Outside foot forward. Okay, retire there, put it in.
Outside foot forward, he says. Well, well done, Ben. At least you tried. Brent Kite obviously doesn't know which one is his outside foot. Now it's come away for the 17, and he's out there as well. Vic Morrow. They play the ball 5 away from the line. Ballon goes back, and here's 4 in a show, then a second man, now Stewart, then inside ball, Robertson. Robertson steps off his right foot and is taken by Friend. With some help from Kennedy. Ballon again towards the middle, then from Cherry Evans finding Morrow. Played again for Ballon. Here is Cherry Evans, and then nearly intercepted by Leilua. It'll be play on. Now he's called it up.
Forward pass, guys.
Yeah, forward pass.
Great for advantage,
wow.
mate. Yeah, forward pass, mate.
The intercept actually looked too easy for Leonard, didn't it? It really looked like he was coming onto it so comfortably. But this has gone against Manly as a forward pass.
It was all a bit rushed there.
Pretty hot in the back in the second row.
Last pass was under pressure.
Look here.
Bureau throws it forward, and Leilua couldn't grasp it.
Friday night football, Eels play the Rabbitohs. And that's the New South Wales live game at 7:30, while the Titans will take on the Big Brothers, the Broncos, in the Queensland match at 7:30. And obviously they'll be turned around and replayed at 9:30 on both sides of the border. So this is Sam Perrott, tackled on the 20-metre line. The Steggles Roosters charity nest is on again this year. I meant to mention it last Friday week. But Steggles and the team, Wairia Hargraves has gone on for whiles. Steggles and the team, the players, they're putting $1,250 in for every point they win a match by to aid 4 main charities. Kenny Dow getting away, pushing away, offload, and there's a knock on by Sam Perrott. Those 4 charities are the Special Olympics people, which I mentioned earlier, Children's Cancer Research Institute, Life Start, and the Royal Children's Hospital Brisbane. Steggles and the players, $1,250 per point that they win by. Current total is $13,750. So John Camilleri and Peter and all the gang at Steggles, well done again.
What are those completion rates there now, Peter? The Roosters must be around about
6 from 13, under 50%.
Well, that's just awful. And a lot of it is unforced stuff.
And that's Tony Williams now getting that right ankle strapped. He's been hobbling around out there, but they don't have that many troops. He's going to have to battle through the pain here. We do have Tim Robinson coming to the sideline as Kieran Foran finds Cherry Evans, who in turn passes on to Will Hopewata. Just about his first touch, I think.
8 metres then into Roosters territory. 4 in terms of back inside to an unsuspecting Matt Ballon. I don't think Matt really wanted that football, and it was proven when Nuasalo wrapped his big arms around it. 17 is Morrow, and with a Christian name of Vic, but it's not spelt the same as the former star of combat. Here is Cherry Evans.
That's a long time ago, Roberts. That's in the 60s, Vic Morrow.
Cherry Evans again. Oh, it's come off a player that did not play at the ball. It's no Reece Dowd. He has another go, and Kenny Dowell snatches it out of the air.
He does some freaky things, Sean Kenny Dow, at times. He can do some dumb things too. I mean, there's a few mistakes in him, but every now and then a slips catch or a brilliant step or a chip and a chase. What's this? Bang, in behind, one-handed, left hand, tick it up and off he goes. He's a freakish footballer.
Things about Daly Cherry Evans, I only watched him on, I guess I watched him on Fox. He's got a bit of a gait and some idiosyncrasies, if that's the word, like Johnny Gibbs.
Yeah, the head doesn't go back quite as far as Gibbsy. I'm not sure if he's got the speed, but it's a comparison that he'd be pretty happy with, because he was a great player, Johnny Gibbs.
Pearce's kick goes straight to the Wolfman. And here's Williams with a strong run. He made Origin, he made Test football, got a grand final ring. This is Robertson.
Yeah, that's a strong tackle from Nate Miles. He drove in hard and doubles it up now.
Grapple.
There's a problem there for Kieran
Number 6,
Foran.
grapple.
Well, we've got a,
Penalty's gone to Manly to ease the pressure.
yeah, grapple tackle called here on Braith and Astor. He puts his hands up, said, no, it wasn't me. Well, that can't be it, surely. That was... He got out of there quick smart. He had his arm up around the neck, but he certainly didn't go on with it, Astor.
Sunday football coming to you from the Sydney Football Stadium. And the grey skies, the heavy grey skies have broken into a sunny afternoon. It comes through Bura and goes on through Morrow, then Foran, and then through Harrison, and here's Stewart. Gets the ball into Robertson. Oh, Williams almost ran a decoy or a foil. Could have undone some great work. Played by Stewart. Through it goes from Harrison. Morrow is with the ball, and they're close to the line. They're trailing by 2 points, Manly. Played by Morrow. Back for Cherry Evan. Then for Bura. And he wanted to step on Astor, but he failed. And here is a charge by Watmo. Is it? He's over the line. Is he held up? Did he get it down? He got it down. He's got the ball down for a try.
Well, that's an effort for perseverance from Anthony Watmo. He looked like he'd been contained. The crowd here didn't like to play the ball from Bura. This was the play leading up to it. A lovely movement off the shoulder here, Brett Stewart, and he used the metres. And then, as you pointed out, Ray, Tony Williams nearly got in the way of Mitch Orbison. Well, let's have a look at the play of the ball. He's facing sideways, Bura, but the referee must have believed that it was the Roosters player who pushed him that way. And then Watmo's gone through 3. Gets rid of Anasta, carries over Miles. Friend is there, so too Pearce.
Good work. Determined from Watmo.
Well, for the 3 defenders that had hold of him, the only thing that matters that close to the line is the ball. Momentum doesn't matter. Where he lands doesn't matter. You've got to get hold of the ball. And between the 3 of them, no one took charge of the most important part of the tackle, and that was to keep the ball off the ground. The play of the ball was a shocker. But the Roosters have only got themselves to blame. Very, very undisciplined. A number of defensive penalties, a number of turnovers in attack. On a hot, steamy day, that's just going to come against you.
Kick for Cherry Evans. 18 in from touch. 18 out from the line, and he puts it straight between the big sticks down at the northern end. So there it is. Manly are back in front, 14-10, and here's a break back in a moment. Sunday football on 9. Brad Fittler's on the sidelines. Phil Gould and Peter Sterling in the commentary box with me today. And this is Vic Morrow. And it might lack some discipline, and there's been a few errors too. That might have been forward to Watmo, but it's been allowed to go. Having said all of that, there's been 4 tries, and it's been most entertaining. Now the 16 is Robinson.
And Masoi is on for Nate Miles for the Roosters. As the 17 Morrow takes the ball 35 out from his own line, centre field.
Jake Friend making the tackle. Watmo going towards Nuasala and Anasta. You've got to think about Tommy Simons, haven't you, for a brief moment? Todd Carney comes back in. Tom scored 2 tries, wasn't it, last Friday week, and he has to give up his spot.
2 tries, Ray, and got the game ball.
That's right, he got the players' game ball. We gave MOM to Mitchell Pearce from memory, but Tom got the players' ball.
He'll be back.
Here's Braith. No, it's Anthony, I'm sorry. Minnie. Now for Perrott.
I think Roosters coach Brian Smith will be very irritated by this first half from the Roosters.
He has been irritated before.
Well, he'll be irritated with this.
Linnett. Friend has got Nuasala galloping. It's not Nuasala. It's Masoi. Friend around the front of the man that played the ball, then uses Anasta, goes across the back, picks up Pearce inside 30. And then they converge and put him down. Watmo and Ballard. Here's the last to the blind side for Carney, then to Orbison. Orbison got a ball inside the Minicello, had a question mark on it, got the ball away. Orbison on, gave to Perrott. Perrott put the kick in, it's gone down to Stewart, and Stewart cleans it up for Manly.
Todd Carney's been quiet on his return, hasn't he? Hardly called his name.
No, you weren't. You're here.
Inside the 10, De La Saris.
It's another undisciplined penalty. Another undisciplined penalty.
Yeah.
He has been quiet.
I thought he's 16.
Well, I guess his team keeps turning the ball over, so maybe the tackle that he gets involved isn't looming up too often. It's ridiculous ill discipline from the Roosters.
Cherry Evans finding the line. And taking it away as Rose. Georges plays it on the halfway. Through from Harrison on to Robinson. What's his background, Robinson? We've given this kid a rap. Harrison. The other kid is the Winston Hills Junior. Played the Streeton Schoolboys in 06. Timmy Robinson. Winston Hills Hawks. Know them well. Ballon. Short, out to Harrison, on to Williams. He throws it over the shoulder and says, who wants it? Robinson puts a kick in, it's got nice weight on it. Oh, it's cleaned up beautifully by the bouncing Mr. Minicello. He's gone outside the 10, he's out to the 20. He's looking for pace on the left side, but he's pulled down.
Exciting stuff there. The number 1, Minicello, took the ball out of the hands of Brett Stewart, flying through. Watmo did well on this side, but the Roosters didn't read it particularly well. 2 went in on Watmo and opened it up as Nuasala takes it out. We come in within 5 minutes of half-time.
Play by Wairia Hargrave. The charges from Masoi. Look at him go, Mossy. To the 40-metre line. Buehrer gets up holding his melon. Got it in the road of the big pumping pistons from Masoi, and then knocked on by the Roosters. This will be called back.
Please.
Pushed and punched by a bully. And then Casey hit back. What's he talking about? Well, tonight another special Sunday edition of A Current Affair at 6:30. Straight after the news, you'll hear from the teenager whose desperate fight back has gone around the world. Tonight, Casey tells what really happened. A Current Affair at 6:30. With Carl Stefanovic on 9, following the news at 6 and then 60 minutes at 7:30. Right on the 20-metre line, the Manly boys take it away with Robertson. 3-try grand final hero. Played back to Hopowato. Straight ahead, full rudder. 5 metres his side at halfway. Ballon goes on, Buehrer gives it on. Williams is with the ball. Back again for Ballon, first receiver that time. Rowe. George actually put a little step into his work there on approach.
No, he's always had a little step. Quite good on his feet for a big man as Daly Cherry Evans straight into the Roosters player. Not played at, so it's play on still the last.
Foran breaks into space. Cherry Evans ducks under a tackle. He's looking for support. He won't need to. Oh, he's lost the ball, has he? Or did he try to pass? I'm not sure. One thing's for sure, the try has gone begging.
Well, can you believe that? Nothing was doing. It was a terrible kick, a ricochet, then all of a sudden Foran burst through into the backfield. Cherry Evans ducks under one, inside another, around another, throws the pass. I think that's come off a Rooster. I think Jake Friend has knocked this pass down. It's been ruled against Manly, but incorrectly. Let's have a look. Throws the pass. I'm pretty sure Jake Friend punched away at that. And the Roosters are very lucky to get away with it.
I was always looking at the replay there of the tackle on Cherry Evans. Was that a bit high?
Todd Carney, it was an awful attempt.
I wouldn't have been surprised had they gone back with the use of the replay and said the tackle on Cherry Evans was high.
Don't run over the mark, mate. That's it.
Anyway, the kick has been taken, the penalty kick by the Roosters.
Don't want to labour the point, Ray, but Todd's very, very lucky that he didn't make better contact. Or worse contact, depending on which way you look at it.
I suppose it's a vital part of the recipe, Peter, but sometimes it's the attention that I think should be measured. And here is Minicello, taken front on by Foran. Gee, it would have been some try.
Well, I'm really interested to hear what Brian Smith has to say to this team at half-time.
Here's Carney.
Well, the one thing that the Roosters have done is given self-belief to Manly. They go in at half-time. They'll all of a sudden think, well, we can win one half, why can't we win another one?
Minicello with the siren in the background. Puts a kick in. Oh, it's been picked up by Robertson. It's not over for him yet. He's going to pass. He does to Watmo. He throws into vacant space. It's snapped up by Williams, and that's the end of the half.
What absolute madness.
Well, it might be madness, but I've enjoyed it, and I hope the viewer has as well.
That's because you're mad.
What?
You're mad.
Well, that's a lovely way to go to a break.
You love the madness.
14-10. You are dead set joking.
I love you, Roberts.
So Manly still in the rooms as we welcome you back to Sunday football, and at the resumption of play not too far away. 14-10 in favour of the Eagles. Williams was over at the 3rd minute, Watmo at the 31st. The Roosters struck back in between with tries to Mitchell Orbison and Sean Kenny-Dowell.
And I know it's going back to last year, but their second halves were very poor consistently throughout 2010. And even last week, 18-6 beaten by Melbourne. They didn't add a point in the second 40 minutes. And they've got an opportunity for a big upset here this afternoon.
Yes, Peter's right about the second half for Manly, even though you don't want to talk on the negatives for them when they're in front by 4 at half-time, but they were scoreless against Melbourne second half last week. Brett takes them out again. In fact, last year they failed to score in the second half on 6 occasions. In their last 4 second halves, they've managed only 8 points in total. Well, let's hope from a Manly point of view that doesn't come back and bite them on the you-know-what. Well, we don't know what he said to him, but we saw some pictures that indicated he wasn't very happy. Brian Smith. And Carney, well, I don't know what Todd's doing. He's the Dalian Player of the Year, and he's been out there for 40 minutes. Maybe he's kept it all parceled up for this second half.
Well, as Gus pointed out, a lot of mistakes by his team, so that's got to inhibit his performance, and he's probably feeling his way back in here this last week, of course. But if they can control possession here, you still have to favour the Roosters. They led when they weren't controlling it until that try from Watmo.
Ready? Stay inside, guys.
Stay behind.
Second half then on Sunday football.
I'll take it, Benny.
We'll take you up to the news at 6, and then ACA, a special edition at 6:30. Manly bring it back to the 20-metre line. They run towards the south in the second half. Manly decimated at the top of the order. 3 captains gone. Is Watmo almost making a break, but Nuasala was equal to it. Now it comes back to Cherry Evans in the centre, and he throws a dummy. He tries to go through, but Jake Friend is there to stop him. This is Robinson in 16. No Jamie Lyon. No Jason King. No Glenn Stewart. And the kick is taken by Minicello. Ceres
Back here. Keep coming, mate.
taking it back to the 20-metre line. He straddled across that try line, Minicello.
Let it go, 14.
And the Roosters with Leilua getting it 8 metres from halfway. Bura the tackler. Now Masoi. Third tackle gone. Then Nuasala Pearce was looking to unload quickly. He did, but it's gone to ground. And it's 6 more tackles for the Roosters. And pressure early for Manly. Nuasala wedging it up to the 20-metre line. Taken by Harrison. 14 is Wairia Hargreaves. Centre ground. And a penalty again goes to the Roosters.
You want another go, George? You want another go? Come on, mate.
Well, they must tap and
Just
go.
right there.
There's
Stay
no
out of it,
decision
George.
here. Just get on with it as quickly as you can.
Suitable chastisement out there for George Rose. 5 metres out from the line, though. The Roosters with Carney turning it in. Masoi ahead. Uprights right in front of him. And here's Carney, there's Carney. Kenny, yes he can.
Well, he's injected himself at the right time early in this second half, and it's on the back of plenty of possession, penalty after penalty. And George Rose in front of his own post, the referee said to him on a couple, "Do you want another go, George? Do you want another go?" George went back into position, struggling to get Wairia Hargreaves onto the ground. And then he gives him a little bit of a facial, pretty silly stuff. And then an overread in defence here from Manly. They go up quickly on the outside, not as quickly on the inside, and he had no choice to go through it. Todd Carney, they made the decision for him. Cherry Evans, he's only got eyes for his outside man. The man on the inside in Matt Ballin just couldn't get to Todd Carney and make an effective tackle.
You just put that down to defensive error, don't you? But it's the feeling you get about this game that the Roosters, if they do control possession and get more than an equal share, they will win comfortably. It's really them that's kept Manly in this.
Braithen Astor kicking beautifully. Brad Fittler on the sideline.
Thanks, Reg. We didn't have a chance to go to the dressing rooms at half-time, but it looked like both coaches were very animated. It looked heated. I saw Brian Smith point to his head a lot, saying, "Boys, you need to think. We need to think out there." Good to see Toddy Carney get a nice four-pointer under his belt. And apart from that, I hope a bit of cloud comes over, we get a bit of rain, tighten this defence up and we see some hits.
Wairia Hargreaves with hits.
Well, that last encounter, 2010, that round 25 game, it was very willing. Remember Wairia Hargreaves, Daniel Conn opening up, Jason King, Glenn Stewart. He was actually outed after a hit that he put on in that game. But I agree with you, Freddie. We haven't seen a whole lot of physical stuff.
Play by Minicello. Masoi. Yeah, I share your thoughts, Brad, but I don't know about the raid. Here's Wairia Hargreaves putting it down. The scrum will go down almost on the Manly 40-metre line. State of Origin tickets went on sale for Game 2 in Sydney during the week. There's plenty of them available for ANZ Stadium. Wednesday, June 15 is the only game in Sydney, New South Wales this year. 132-849 or ticketek.com.au. And for Queensland people, your Game 1 has sold out, but there are still a few seats, and I emphasise a few seats left for Game 3. So Sydney, as Ricky Stewart said in the paper during the week, come on, get behind them.
I keep saying, Ray, it's the best game 2, because there's always something riding on it, either a series win or forcing the series to a decider. It's a beauty, Game 2.
Williams hasn't played since September 2009, David. George Rose still thinking about, I guess, the dumbness that he showed back down the other end of the ground that yielded the try. And the 16 underneath this tackle is Robinson. On the 30-metre line, Roosters end of the ground. Cherry Evans inside ball, Hopewadi, ridden by Friend, low Nuasala, high Anasta. 20-metre line, Roosters end, Ballon to the middle. Foran goes behind a decoy. It's gone to Stewart, it's gone to Tony Williams. And he's got it back to Foran. Foran will be made to play the ball. No, he couldn't find the ground. He could not find the ground, and Kenny Dow and Sam Perrott dragged him over the sideline.
Well, it was a try gone begging for Manly because they really had created the overlap and given Williams plenty of space, but the Roosters managed to scramble back, and in Kenny Dowell and Perrott kept the tackle moving and out over the sideline. Roosters again with an error early in their tackle count, invited Manly down for a try-scoring opportunity, and they nearly got them again.
He did a super job there, Kenny Dowell. He got Tony Williams one-on-one at speed again. And when the ball was rolled back by Williams, he got up out of that tackle and made the next one and kept momentum with Perrott to put him over the sideline. So it was a big play defensively from the four.
Jake Friend taken, should I say, monstered by George Rose. Now Frank Nuasala.
Frank Paul Nuasala and Mozzie Mazoy have been tremendous with their charges.
Riles. Friend to Pearce. Mitchell. His kick bouncing down there for Robertson, back on his own 20. Comes out towards Pearce, and there's the facet of the Pearce game that I love so much. It's not necessarily the spectacular stuff that we know from him, but it's the Brett Kamali part of his game. He kicks, he leads, and he 9 times out of 10 makes the tackle. Robertson. Total participator is Mitchell Pearce. Bureau. Ballon waiting. 1-0 ahead. So Ballon, Cherry Evans, dabs it into the corner. Minicello's been very, very good today. Can he clear this? He spun from one, but they're trying to take him back, but they can't. And Anthony plays the ball. Here is Leilua. And the man on the ground, William Hopewadi, said, well, I've got a boot in my face, I might as well hang on to it. And now the ball has gone over for Jason Riles, a shoulder charge from Foran. And Harrison comes in to help Foran put the big front rower to ground.
The last 2 or 3 minutes from Manly's been really good. They've lifted for the fight here.
And down goes Foran.
That's 3 in a row. He's just thrown his body into the front.
Nuasala was the runner. This is Wairia Hargreaves. Now they're on their own 20-metre line. Friend finding Pearce, the kick. And it's gone long down to Stewart inside 20. Back to his 30-metre line. There's Pearce down there again.
Well, that's a good win for Manly there. Defensively, they forced the Roosters to kick deep in their own half. Stewart brought it almost back to the 41st tackle. Hopewadi to the 45th tackle. Just the little battles within the game are important. Williams now into the opponent's half.
Bellin. Kite. Just peeling away from Nuasala, who was lining him up for the kill. Riles made the tackle. And now they come back for Cherry Evans to find Joe Malaval. And Joe, tackle on the 20-metre line. Manly in the contest. As Ballon goes, Cherry Evans took a hit from Wairia, but he's got the ball away. Foran lots the ball out to Williams, and Williams doesn't keep going. Now the fold around. We'll see Foran score. Foran has scored. Well, he's taken a battering in defence in the last 5 minutes, but he's come up with the try.
Well, that's super work from Manly there. They scored that try on the back of their defence the previous 6. They forced the Roosters to kick from deep in their own area. They got to within an attacking position on the last tackle, and they ran it. And this is great work from Cherry Evans, knowing it was the last, keeping it alive. And look at Foran, the cutout pass. Williams steps back inside Kenny Dowell. Beautiful offload, and Foran stayed alive and scored despite the attention of Minicello. It's wonderful work, and it's done on the back of defence.
Well, it's their best period of the game. I know they led 8-0 and led 14-10 at half-time, but I put that a lot down to the ineptitude of Roosters in the first half, who made a lot of mistakes. But that period there, they actually seized back control of the game with their hitting in defence. and a couple of good sets where they got to their kick. And they just took the momentum right away from the Roosters. That's their best period of the game, that 5 minutes right there, since the Roosters scored their previous try.
And don't think that little pat on the head from Foran to Mitchell Pearce is disrespectful. They're great mates. They go back a long way. In fact,
they played with Asquith, didn't they?
Well, he's been reported lately as saying that he learned all his good stuff in his game from Mitchell Pearce. So don't be put off by what you just saw.
We might get the boys and tapes just to go back there, because it was a nice little touch, and some people might have thought it was disrespectful. That's a lovely kick. We'll take a break and come back. Manly with a converted try. They go to the lead again. And welcome back to Sunday football. There's that pat on the head from Kieran Foran on Mitchell Pearce. I'm sure they both played at Asquith. I thought Kieran was with the Magpies and Mitchell was with the Hawks at Asquith. I know he played with North Ryde and all that, but as Peter said, that was just a pat on the head from mate to mate, really. One to me. And Brett Stewart. Hard back to the line. 20 plays 16. How many leaders have we had, Dave? I know there's only been 2, but how many times has the lead changed, I meant? David Middleton feeding fodder to these people that live off it.
Oh, you don't set him up, mate.
That was beautiful, Middle. That was beautiful.
It's Harrison. Oh, my God. There's only 2 out there, David, of course, but I'm talking about how many times has the lead changed. That's what I said. And what you've done is you've fed Sterling and Gould up with a bit of fodder, and they love it. Anyway, here's Cherry Evans. Row the boat on arm. That ball should go dead, but it's not going to. Minicello brings it back, and Manly, look at him. Look at him, springing the step, 3 in the line, down you go.
They've totally seized control here. They've found energy from nowhere.
Well, they've probably found energy off the Roosters.
Well, it's amazing, you know, like you sort of doubted their lead at half-time and thought, well, if the Roosters hold on to the ball, they'll win. Roosters came out, scored a try, and you thought, well, here we go. And Manly said, no, we're not having that. We're not giving up. And they have fair dinkum swung the momentum just on sheer effort in defence. Look at the hits here. Their kick chase is terrific.
The Roosters scored a try and then didn't get to the kick to start. Carney kicks deliberately on the far side for his outside men, but it's going to sit up for Manly. So they've forfeited field position to try and get something happening out there, but immediately Brett Stewart back over halfway, and he's going over the sideline, pops it back in, did very well.
Robertson now. Robertson taking on a couple of forwards, Miles and Kennedy. And now Manly set it up. David Williams. Inside the 40-metre line. 20 plays 16. There's Hasler.
And he sent See You into the contest. Short inside ball from him to Nullavow.
Foran to the line, passing at the line. Stewart, the ball goes to ground. May have come back off the Roosters, makes no difference. Minicello's got the ball anyway. Had Manly dived on it, though, I think it would have been play on with 6 more. So it's with Kenny Dow now.
That last set of 6 there where Todd Carney tried the little chip kick across field late in the tackle count. If I'm Manly, I gain confidence in that. It suggests that the Roosters are trying to pull a rabbit out of their hat rather than graft away with the tough stuff.
Here's the man that pulled them out of the tough stuff last time they played. Kenny Dow, halfway line, quick comment, Brad Fittler.
Really wide defence, Manly. This is why you're so used to Manly playing so physical. And I think it was Todd Carney's awareness. I noticed those last couple of sets where they started to jam off the line and build a few blokes, led by Kieran Foran and Anthony Wadmo, actually shortened their defence up. And that's what I'm used to seeing these heads from Manly.
Here's Carney, had to rush his kick, and Stewart's underneath it. Kennedy, the tackler.
Well, it was called a dominant tackle, but he took it to the nth degree, young Martin Kennedy.
Yeah, Kennedy laid on him as though it was surrender rather than dominant.
He'd gone on holidays.
Yeah, exactly right. It was like he had land rights.
13.
Penalty, Manly.
Right away from the head, mate.
Get off the head, get off the head. red. Nate Miles penalised. Well, you keep thinking they're going to win, the Roosters, but if they keep up the shenanigans, the Eagles might just pinch this with a team that has been decimated.
Well, up until 7 or 8 minutes ago, I thought the Roosters were going to win. I'm not so convinced now. I'm just been really impressed with the Manly's last 5 minutes, and I'm becoming less and less impressed with the way the Roosters handled it.
Harrison, driven back hard by Kennedy, but more so by Miles. CUCU's got the head band on, and that's Brent Kite in the middle of the ground on the 40. Way to Foran at first, and then on to Robinson, as opposed to Robertson. CUCU, he decides I'll have a little scurry myself up the middle, a couple of big blokes, a couple of big boppers, I might beat them. He didn't, but he made about 5 metres. Here's Kite trying to work behind to play the ball. And those 2 big boppers I was talking about hanging on to Brent Kite. 48 metres away from the line, so Foran again. This time he just plonks it down and it rolls over the touchline about 5 metres out from the corner post. He looks tired, but my goodness, he should be tired. He's been doing everything.
He's been terrific. One other game this afternoon. Bulldogs fans will be happy. Their team prevailed against the Rabbitohs. It was 28-19. Now, the Rabbitohs came from behind to get back to 18 all and kicked the field goal with 13 minutes to go to lead 19-18. And then the Bulldogs ran away with the last 10 minutes, which is very reminiscent of their loss to the Roosters last week. Getting level, edging ahead, but still a long way to go in the game, and then conceded 2 late tries. A good win for the Bulldogs. They're 2 from 2 so far this season, and the Rabbitohs are winless.
Can you stand over there, please?
They go round next Friday night against the Eels in Friday night football.
Bend. Stand over there, man. I'll tell you to come put it in. Yeah, that's better. 8. Roosters 8. Come on, put it in. In.
Someone in the scrum yell now. Come on, put it in.
Please don't start me, Pete. Please don't.
Oh, I reckon I'd be calling that every time if my back was starting to flare a bit after now.
Miles. You see, oh, gee, Linnett ran into a shoulder there from Brent Kite. I think this tutoring doesn't need to go on and on and on like it obviously is going to. Just penalise them. Penalise them. It's only a differential penalty, and if they keep doing it, just give them 5 in the bin. So it's gone away from Pearson. It's found Carmen. He's drifting. He's gone across and he's fired it. Out to SKD with the ball now. Gets rid of one, stands in another. Gets away from him, gets the ball away. Mitchell Orbison puts a fender. Puts the ball on the inside. Perrott rolls it down the ground. Brett Stewart picks up the ball. Then Sean Kenny Dowell hits him with the left shoulder.
Oh, it's come alive, this game, hasn't it? It's been exciting and entertaining with the closeness of the scores. I suppose we're a little bit surprised, but now it's really warming to a great finale.
I love it. The 17, Morrow.
Got a mistake.
He's about to go back into combat. A mistake will break and come back.
He's out of play, guys. That's him. He's out of...
Sunday football on Channel 9. And an exciting game here.
He's on the wing.
Watmo's got a problem. Well, they've lost nearly all their other stars. They might as well lose some more, but I'll tell you what they will do if they win this game. And even if they don't win this game, they're going to go away with a mile of confidence to think they've done what they've done already with the team they've got on the park.
Well, Manly want this play stopped because Anthony Watmo he's not well. He's coming across, look like he's carrying a shoulder. The referee is rightly saying, look, he's out on the wing, he's not part of the play, so Watmo is more closer to be in the play.
Well, the players have totally ignored the referee here. Here's Sean Kenny Dowell, who did really well on last play to get rid of this. He was sort of attended to, and he swivels and turns, but that's what he's capable of.
With him, on his arm around. Him there.
Gee, Delaceris, look, I understand what you're trying to do, Tony, but blow the whistle and put your arm up. And as far as players taking no notice of you, blow the whistle and put your arm up because it's called dissent. This is Leilua. You will lose control if you're not careful. Miles on the 20-metre line. Enough to do without coaching. Here's Kennedy. Now they're 9 out. They've got 2 tackles left on this set. Here is Pearce off his right foot, looking to reel and give it away. It'll bounce up there for Miles. He handballs it back. It was knocked forward by Minicello. It's advantage play on Morrow for Manly. On the 20. See you. Kennedy again. Holding down in the tackle. And now Hopewate. Inside the 30-metre line. And Kites hammers it at Nasta and Friend. See you for Nullava. Joe. 7 metres from the halfway, held by Jason Riles. See you can't find his playmaker, so he has to kick himself. And it's not a bad kick. It's gone down, bouncing around for Perrott, back under the uprights. And he'll get it back almost to the 20-metre line.
Yeah, just a little bit of tiredness out there now for Manly. They went up that gear and just paying the penalty for it a little bit now. It's a danger period for them.
Good run by Linnett. Now Minicello steps free from one, but runs into Kite. He's on the 40-metre line. Play right in front of our cameras here on the western touchline. And then Anasta, who comes back to that side and then gives the ball to Linnett, who's held by Hopewate. And then Friend, a lofted ball over to Carney. Inside ball, Kennedy. One-handed pass underneath for Linnett. Linnett looks around. The wing is unmarked. Leilua's away down the sideline. Puts a kick in. There's a chance on for Jake Friend. Now it's cleaned up beautifully back there by, guess who? Kieran Foran.
Unbelievable. I want to go back and see where Kieran Foran came from to make that play. Let's have a look. The ball will come down the left-hand side of the field. Kieran Foran defends on the opposite side of the field, but has come covering back in cover defence. He came from the far side of the field, just in case he was required, and he was. That's brilliant stuff from the youngster.
Play by Nullava. This is Kite. See you. Jerry Evans drills it, and it's going down into the in goal. Not going to. Oh, that's beautifully weighted. They've got Minicello where they want him over in the corner. So he passes long. He gets it over to the middle of the ground. Perrott puts on a swerve. He gets it out to Carney. Carney's out to the 20. Oh, good tackle. Who do you think it is again? His name is Foran.
Wow. What about that?
Kenny Dow's lost the ball. Harrison's got it for Manly.
Yeah, Manly have beaten them to a pulp. Too tough.
See you for Morrow. 15 out from the line. I think this might make the highlights reel for Kieran. Here's Brent Kite getting it away from Brett Stewart. Looking for number 99. 3 away. Kennedy the tackler. See you. Scurries away. Chalk just in front of him. Kite, a dummy half. Pass was good. Jerry Evans, big dummy right side. Goes back, looking at the blind side. Taken down. Loss of a tackle. That was the 4th. Now for Foran. And Foran fends away from Wild. Spins around away from Friend. Taken by Orbison. Play by Kieran Foran. The last for Jerry Evans. The kick is wonderful. It's in there. Up they go. Down they come. Manly's got the ball. Manly might have a try here. William Hopewate.
Just check contest, please.
Well, they deserve it.
There's last second one.
They absolutely deserve it. They have bashed the Roosters almost into submission.
Well, they're all onside. They get numbers there, the Roosters. It wasn't a great attacking set, but the kick was a beauty to finish it off. We're just looking to see if Hopewate gets a touch on the football. He regathers it there. It will be the initial contact here that they'll have a look at closer to see if he touches it into a Roosters player. Oh, I can't see it.
No, he's been a mile below the most outstretched of the hands. This has got to be a try.
You can't take it off him, I don't think.
They are not his hands there. The uppermost hands belong to the Rooster. And the next set of hands that are furthest extended are again Rooster hands. Even though Roosters don't have hands, but I'm just making the point, I don't think Williams got a touch. See the hands? He's not. They're belonging to a Rooster.
I don't know. There's a left hand there that's taped, and I think that's his.
It's a try.
Just have a look here.
No.
You just give it a try.
No, it does miss. It goes underneath it.
You can't tell one way or the other, so it's a try. It's got to be a try. Good man. That's a try.
He hasn't had many opportunities with Hopewate, but the times he's touched it, he's looked very likely.
It's his first go in the centres. It should be green. It is. Benefit of the doubt try for William Hopewate.
Well, they totally deserve that, the Sea Eagles, because physically they have upped the ante on the Roosters, and to be quite honest, the Roosters couldn't go with them. And it's been led by one of Manly's smallest players in Kieran Foran. His second half has been absolutely outstanding. Forget how they score the points and how pretty or unpretty the footy looks. It's the effort in defence, it's the hitting and the determination and the intent with which they've played that has forced the Roosters onto the back foot, and to be honest, the Roosters haven't looked like coming up with a response.
Well, I've said before, Ray, I think Kieran Foran is the best young player in the game, and I've seen nothing this afternoon to change my point of view.
No, I've heard you say it, and I guess it's a good debate that you can have, and you're talking about Mitchell Pearce and Todd Carney and all these sort of people.
It's a matter of finding out which his best position in first grade is going to be.
So Cherry Evans, he's got it. He's got it. Manly have got it. The lead, that is, by 10 points with 13 to go. Welcome back to Sunday football on the wide world of sports. And it's a shallower kickoff, and the Roosters have got it to go over the sideline.
Yep, off the Roosters, Manly feed.
So Manly, they haven't lost everything as a result of what happened there. It's certainly Braith, who's like an Australian rules ruckman. He's rucked it over the sideline. Manly will feed the $1 million drop. We are making 10 Aussie couples instant millionaires. How long can they hold on to their $10 million? Well, Nine's amazing news show, the $1 million drop. Have a look at that. It'll tell the answer. It starts Monday at 8:30. Hosted by Eddie Maguire. So Phil Gould might have got that job. Popping up on everything around the joint. Eddie can't do everything. So here is Joe Nulliver. Kite. Nulliver again. Miles. Cherry Evans. She's a confident-looking little fella. Oh, that might be okay. Yes, it is. He's found the line just a centimetre inside the white line. Brad, that must have nearly taken you out.
Yeah, a little bit further down. That was pretty good, actually. But I'm looking up the Roosters bench, and I'm seeing Sean Kenny-Dow. Sean Kenny-Dow has dropped the ball over there, which led to the Manly try. Nate Miles was hooked earlier when he gave the penalty away. So Brian Smith, he's out to make a real statement today. If they don't get the points, he's going to do something about their attitude, I think.
What's he doing off?
Well, he's just saying, Brad, is implying that the coach, Brian Smith,
Don't come out early,
is
all right?
taking off
Keep your
because he's
head
not
in
happy
until
with the
I say out.
performance.
Okay, wait there, wait there.
So Mitch Orbison, I imagine, would go out into the centre position.
He hasn't had such a bad game. So the Roosters now bringing it out. There's a 30-metre line and beyond. Brad's got a couple of people watching the game down there with him. They paid for the right to sit next to Freddie and watch a Roosters game. Lauren and Sue, I think are their names. They're sitting down there with Frederick Fittler. And this is Miles.
He should have paid to sit next to them.
Lauren and Pat.
Lauren and Pat, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Phil. Anyway, they paid big money to sit next to Fred this afternoon. And the benefactor was Charity as the ball goes to ground, and it's a penalty, Roosters.
Okay, well, they've got time.
Back here.
They've got 10 to go. They trail by 10. And that's plenty of time, but as they find touch of the boot of Todd Carney, they need to get on the scoreboard shortly to take advantage of that time.
Nuasala. Watmo, the ball comes out, and it's back with Orbison. Orbison goes ahead. Ball back to Pearce. Now short for Minicello. Now they're 12 metres out in the middle. 9.5 to go. Converted try here, and we are in for a real spine-tingling finish. It's gone from Riles and found Kennedy. Kennedy taken low by Watmo. Loses the ball. And CU goes away. William. He loses the ball. He's ordered knock on. Roosters are going to form the pack as quick as they can.
Good work, Tony. Dave.
It's funny how teams, when they need a couple of tries to win, like the Roosters did there, everybody thinks that they're a ball player, and Riles and Kennedy there trying their hand at passing the ball and popping it out the back. It's probably not the players you want trying to execute the tries. You need the ball in the hands of Carney and Anasta and Mitchell Pearce. But they'll get another chance here. Friday night football, Eels versus the Rabbitohs.
It's not off now.
Rabbitohs yet to win. The Eels have had 1 win, 1 loss. And then Sunday football, Friday night Titans and the Broncos.
No, I want your hand and your arm around.
At Rabina, and next Sunday the Sea Eagles and the Knights. Well, I can't wait for that. From what I've seen from the Sea Eagles here today, and the Knights are in great form. 2 from 2 to start the season.
In, out.
So, Carney goes short to Minicello. I thought he was into the backfield.
Cherry Evans got him from behind. Riles strides towards the line. 5'8", they've got numbers right.
Chance here for the Roosters. Riddell is back in the game. Here is Carney. The ball away. It's gone backwards to Minicello. And he'll play it 10 metres out from the line. Oh, and it's gone from Waithan Astor to Kane Linnett. And he's swarmed over by the Eagles. 4 tackles gone. 8.25 to go in the game. Leilua I should say. It's gone back to Carney and now to Myers. Riddell on the last. To Carney in the middle. He puts a kick in. It was an ordinary kick. And Watmo, or Morrow it is, that comes away with it.
Well, it was an awful set of 6 for the Roosters. They had Manly stretched by tackle 2, and then the next 3 plays were deplorable. A little charge down the short side when there was nothing on. An inside pass to a forward who just hit it up. And then a nothing kick on the last play. It was terrible.
Harrison plays the ball. Robertson. He'll play it. 8 metres from halfway.
Manly thoroughly deserve this. They've just got to see it through for the next 7.5 minutes. And it'll be a thoroughly deserved victory.
Cherry Evans. Ball sitting up there for Minicello. Back in this corner. Here they go again, quickly to the middle. Perrott goes over, and he picks up Mitchell Pearce out there. Now Pearce is coming back, showing the ball, runs back. Oh, now, goodness gracious me. Leilua just got it in time before it hit the ground. And that might have been curtains completely there. Here's an Astor.
Well, the line stayed for Manly. The Roosters went one side, came back the other, and the line stayed. He'd have liked those last 2 kicks, Cherry Evans, to have gone over the sideline, but they just didn't make it as Maria Hargreaves almost makes the 40. And the Roosters are well spread to the right, but Piggy Riddell out of dummy half.
Got beyond the halfway line too. Riddell. And he's ruled that he lost it. I think Robinson and Manly collectively held their breath. But they've got the scrum, the loose head and the feed right on halfway.
And plenty of congratulations that the game is not won. Just over 6 minutes to go, and don't forget the players unavailable for Manly. Steve Maddai, Shane Rodney, Jamie Lyon, Jason King, and they lost Glenn Stewart at training at the end of the week. There's some faces out there that have not played much first-grade football, 2 of them out there for the first time. This is shaping up as quite a win.
Well, they've won it on old-fashioned values. They've won it with defence and grit and teamwork. Have a look at this. A little bit of time wasting. A little bit of time wasting. Manly are giggling.
You two, over there. Come here. Jason, Tim.
He wasn't backing down Tim Robinson.
Jason, you're both on the open side and you're both coming up wrestling on each other. Let's just bend our backs, get in and hold, all right?
That's the 5th time Jason Riles has said you've got the wrong bloke.
No pushes up, just hold.
5 times today he's gone to the referee and said, man, you've got the wrong bloke.
Anthony, get down.
It's not me.
Here's Manly. With this 10-point lead and the timepiece now almost making it impossible.
A great mate, champion jockey Malcolm Johnson. He was suspended 50 times. He's always claimed that 49 times he was the victim of circumstance.
See you. And then Stewart, and now Watmo. Watmo prepared to take the tackle. There's no need for any more fancy stuff. See you. Cherry Evans. This man is Robinson, one of the new chums. As I said, it doesn't matter whether they win or lose, and they're going to win. There's Foran, Tony Williams, unloading it back for See You. They've slowed it right down. They're just soaking up as much time as they like. And the 5th tackle is there for Manly now, but they will take away from this victory a mile of confidence.
Back with me, Manly.
To do it with the team they've done it with. So back to the 20 for the restart, the optional.
Yeah, not a great kick there from Cherry Evans. He was in 2 minds going out of dummy half. Really should have just been trying to roll it into the in goal and force another set of 6. That would just about have wrapped it up completely. But the Roosters now have got to travel 72 metres to get back into this game.
Under 5 to go. And 7 tries scored in the match. 4 of them by Manly. Braithen Astor goes back over the 40-metre line. His own end of the park, though. The timepiece telling us that it's practically impossible. Nuasala, leads taken by Kite. Carney angling to the left of the ground, picking up Anasta onto Linnett. Catch pass, and Leilua it is, goes back towards the middle. Chance here for Leilua, pulled down nicely by Bura. Plays it on the 30-metre line. Riddell quickly to Pearce, puts a little chip over the top for Linnett. Oh, coming in and with no thought of self-preservation, Robertson cleans it up. And the penalty goes to Manly.
I caught you about 5 or 6 times, mate. You're offside.
Williams is down after being tackled. And tonight, of course, at 6:30, another special edition of A Current Affair. After the news that is following us, it's about this bullying subject that has attracted all the hits during the week. And Casey, the kid that was pushed and punched, he hits back. Straight after the news, you'll hear from the teenager whose desperate fight back, as I said, has gone round the world. Tonight, Casey tells what really happened. That's on A Current Affair with Tracy at 6:30 tonight.
I hate bullies, right? I hate bullies. It's my pet hate. I hate bullies.
I'm glad you do.
I do. In all walks of life, I hate bullies.
Mura.
You with me, Rabbits?
I'm totally with you, Gus. Cherry Evans to Watmoe. And Watmoe just into Roosters territory. That's Morrow. See you. Mura. Inside the 30-metre line.
Well, this should go to Cherry Evans and kick it over the sideline here.
Funny thing, that's what he did. You're talking like a bloke that used to play the game yourself.
That's great. It's just an exclamation point on the victory.
No, hey, listen.
Like I said, they've won this with old-fashioned
He's allowed to
values.
rush up. He didn't change his
Roosters
game.
wanted to play this game with flair and talent and send the ball singing from side to side. They made a heap of errors in the first half, didn't mend their ways in the second half. And Manly, with that surge just after half-time, after Roosters scored their first try in the second half, that defensive surge by Manly,
led by Kieran Foran,
was brilliant. They bashed the Roosters out of this.
Leilua. Well, now it's impossible. Orbison, 26-16, coming to the game, leading up to the game. There weren't many that were prepared to tip Manly. Oh, gee, is he okay?
Yeah, knock one off Manly. Nearly took the intercept there. The pass with pressure on.
Play by Linnett, and here's Wairia Hargreaves trying to break through, bust through. And not surprisingly, aiming at the smallest man on the ground, probably, Terry Evans. Here's Braith, he gets it away, and this is Linnett near the sideline and over the sideline.
Look at the Manly players coming in to support each other here, loving it. Look at that. Loving it. They've really earned this victory today. The Roosters have had no response to their grit and their determination, their toughness, and that man there run away. Well, he gets my vote in man of the match. Did you get your vote, Rabbits?
I don't vote. It's you and Pete. It's you and Pete and Brad.
Oh, right.
I don't think there's any doubt who you're going to go for.
If you were going to vote, who would you vote
Well,
for?
let me say this. If you don't give it to Foran, I'm protesting.
Okay.
This is one of the easier ones today.
Well done, Kieran. In fact, you've attracted from Peter Sterling before a major comment, and again he said it today. Best young footballer in the game. Away it goes now for Robertson. So the big lineup is coming up with news at 6. ACA 6:30. 60 minutes, 7:30. And Evans goes for a drop goal right on the hooter. The arm has gone up. It's another point on the total. Manly have won. Manly 27, the Roosters 16 from the football stadium. It's good night. Here is the news.